0717102102, before you call, there's the new entrance of Peter Kenneth into the gubernatorial race, and it has raised some excitement
among what?
Among the people of Nairobi, given the fact his track record from Gatanga where he was. What's your take on Peter Kenneth?
Oh, let me tell you this. Peter Kenneth is the worst myth that has happened in this country.
What do you mean?
The worst myth, I'll explain. Other than the fact that Peter Kenneth, admittedly, is a handsome man, okay, and is from a mixed race. What is it that Peter Kenneth brings? I'll tell you why there is nothing about Peter Kenneth except color and beauty. We are not selling beauty here. you know, I tell people all the, no, listen to me. No, wait, let me speak.
He didn't perform in Gatanga?
No, I will get there. You see how Jalash was promoting some candidate in the coast because she's beautiful. And I was boiling because I say, my friend, we are not selling beauty. When I'm governor, I will have probably a beauty department where we will have tourism, we will have beauty contests, and I can appoint Peter the head of beauty, and he can run contests for beauty. Number two, you see, Peter Kenneth made history at the Starehe Boys Center. You know, he was my classmate. I didn't go to Starehe, I was at Njiri's, but we did O and A levels the same time. So when we did the A levels in 1984, everybody at the Starehe Boys Center passed, and Peter Kenneth was the very last student. There were only 2 students that failed flat, and Peter Kenneth was the last one, which means he got everything 0. It was 0. Now, no, it is very important because the capacity, the intellectual and academic capacity to digest information, to retain information, to filter information, and to apply knowledge is important in governance. Because this is about policy. How are you going to solve any problem if you are just pathetically, intellectually incapable? You see, there are things he can do. As I said, he can run beauty and whatnot. Then number 2. Number 3. So after we finished, of course, Peter Kenneth couldn't go anywhere. So he got a job through looks to be a teller at a bank. Then he rose through the ranks, became a manager. Then he was piloted from there and was supposed to be appointed CEO of Consolidated Bank at the time. Mika Cheserem, who is not a great intellectual himself, vetoed that appointment because he said no, but this guy has absolutely nothing. You see, a society that is not based on merit is very important. Like you are a good Kiswahili speaker, you are very eloquent, you are entertaining, you fit within what Radio Maisha has given you to do. You can deliver. This man is supposed to be appointed CEO with nothing. No papers. I mean, how do you apply for a job when your CV is F? So now, he has no CV. So he gets into Kenyari. Okay? Kanu contacts, because unlike me, who started fighting autocracy, fighting dictatorship, fighting one-party rule, and there are many of us who did that, we took a stand. Peter joined them. Then Peter was rewarded by being appointed now, because Cheserem vetoed his appointment. He was now sneaked in to be the head of Kenyari Insurance Corporation. It's a state corporation. He bankrupted it. He looted it to death. Just like he looted Mumias to death. And this is not just me talking. It went to Parliament. He was debated comprehensively in Parliament. He was indicted in Parliament. Peter Nyang' Nyong'o, the former Secretary General, the professor, and others went to court and got an order stopping him from selling Kenyari to Zimbabweans. That is how Peter was gotten out of Kenyari, dishonorably. So from there, he metamorphoses like Kenyan crooks always metamorphose into a member of Parliament of Gatanga. Like Jirongo metamorphosed from minting 500 shilling notes, and Waiguru now went to metamorphose into a governor. You know, many crooks Even Patney want to metamorphose into an MP. There are many crooks who want to turn from being a crook to be called honorable. He was one of them. So,
all right.
So no, let me get to this one.
Because we have 10 minutes now.
Yes. So now he gets to be MP for Gatanga in Muranga, which is near where I went to school. And so he was MP for 10 years, right?
Yes.
Is there a member of parliament, you know the role of a member of parliament, the first thing that they do is to legislate.
Yes.
To pass laws.
Yes.
Is there any law bearing Peter Kenneth's name in the Republic of Kenya? One law, one bill, one motion that Peter Kenneth moved in parliament? Zero. Go and look through the Hansard.
Yes.
You will never find anything bearing Peter Kenneth's name, either as a sponsor of the motion or a person who debated any bill. You don't remember him because he never performed. The primary role of a member of parliament is legislation. So he did not legislate for Gatanga. So you guys are praising nothing, a failure. Number two, he was supposed to do oversight. So you become maybe the chairman of a committee or the secretary, like now my friend, the engineer Gumbo is the chairman of PAC, right? And you've seen the job he's been doing. And they come up with the reports. Is there a committee Peter Kenneth chaired in parliament that you're aware of? Zero. Is there anything, a report that Peter Kenneth presided over? That you see, you guys are celebrating mediocrity. At least Miguna has published books. You know that Miguna has been a lawyer. His clients are there. He has been earning a living through doing his own thing. I have not gotten any money. So, okay, so that's number two. Zero. Peter Kenneth, no legislation, no motion, no bill, no committee work, nothing to talk about from parliament. Now, CDF, which is what people say, which is not his job. When you are elected to parliament, your job is not CDF. CDF is Constituency Development Fund. It's public funds. It's money that we pay into taxes. And then there is a board called the CDF board or CDF committee at the constituency, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now that board has a chairman or a chairperson and a secretary and members. And then there is a manager of the CDF committee at the constituency. The manager is the CEO. And then there are staff of the CDF, isn't it?
Yeah.
They are the ones who actually do the work. Just like you now. You work for Radio Maisha. Of course, the owners of the Standard Group will take credit for what you have done. But who actually does the work? So let's assume that Radio Maisha becomes #1 in the world in terms of performance. Now, instead of giving credit to Jalash and yourself, somebody says the owners are the ones because they were the ones that created Radio Maisha, or they were what was the name? The MPs are supposed to be trustees, right? So now you ask yourself, was Peter Kenneth the manager of the CDF board of Gatanga? No, he wasn't. Was he the chairman of the CDF committee? No, he wasn't. Was he the secretary? No, he wasn't. Was he the treasurer? No, he wasn't. What was his role?
To oversee.
To oversee.
Which
so now you are saying the overseeing is instrumentality. He's actually doing. So other people did the work. Therefore, we should give him credit and forget about these people. You see, there are a lot of people in this country that get credit for what they have not done. And then lastly, let me tell you this lastly. He's not the only one that performed, if that is the case, performed well on CDF.
There are many
Rafael Tuju did, the MP Kenneth Okoth is doing very well, and the guy who was MP of, it was not Githunguri, someone who came up with the CDF actually legislation. Nobody even mentions him. So are these people being put forward as candidates? No. So why is he reaping where he did not sow?
In a short while.
Peter Kenneth is a useless, bankrupt thief that should not be running for public office, and I will deal with him and deconstruct him the same way I'm deconstructing any other cartel. I will appoint him the head of beauty department in the county.
Maneno yote na matamshi yote yanayotolewa katika kipindi cha leo Lia Miguna.
Hayahusiani na Radio Maisha wala Standard Media Group wala kipindi cha ni ya Miguna.
Yes.
Ni yake Miguna.